We're starting last section here in chapter 10, which we'll continue to work with the quadratic equations. But anyway, this section I wanted to introduce to you the quadratic formula. And we'll go over that. But anyway, we're going to start out with equations in this format, ax squared plus bx plus c. We've been doing this now for, it seems like, a couple of weeks. And we've been solving for x, either by completing the square or by another form or another, or just factoring. We've been working with those. But sometimes it cannot be factored in the whole numbers, and but using this quadratic formula will be a way that it can be solved, and they always can be solved. Anyway, the formula for the quadratic formula is negative b, and I'm just going to be plugging in the numbers that are corresponding up here. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. And that is all divided by 2a. That is x equals. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, just formula down. It's actually on your worksheet assignment anyway. But at least be familiar with this. This is why I'm giving it to you, because you will use this in algebra too. Equations need to be in this form to use this formula. And if they're not in this form, then we're going to have to get it into this form so that they are equal to 0. I will do a couple examples off the homework for you so you know what you got to do with these. All right. Anyway. I'll start out with number 1. Number 1, x squared minus 3x plus 2. It's in the form ax plus bx plus c equals 0. So it's already in that form. We don't need to change anything else around. All we need to do is just plug in numbers into that quadratic formula. So remember, quadratic formula starts out negative b. So negative, put in your negative 3 for b. Plus or minus the square root of b squared. B squared is negative 3 minus 4 times a. A is 1. C is 2. All over 2 times a. A again is 1. All right, here's our formula. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So b is negative 3. B squared is negative 3 squared. A is 1. 1, it's because we have 1x squared. A is 1. C is 2. All over 2a, 2 times 1. All right, simplify all this, and that'll give us a solution for what x equals. So negative in front of us, negative 3 just turns that to a positive 3. So 3 plus or minus the square root of all this stuff all over 2 times 1 is just going to be 2. So negative 3 squared is 9 minus 4 times 1 times 2. So 9 minus maybe 9 minus 8. So 3. 9 minus 8 is 1. we have 3 plus or minus the square root of 1 all over 2. And square root of 1 is 1. So 3 plus 1, or 3 minus 1, is 3 plus 1 over 2, and 3 minus 1 all over 2. 3 plus 1 is 4 over 2, so that equals 2. 3 minus 1 is 2, 2 over 2, and that simplifies to 1. So your solutions for this first one is just going to be x equals 2 or x equals 1. So again, this works out with every equation, and you can even see on some of these you could just work it out by factoring them. Because your factors would actually be x minus 2 and x minus 1. All right. That's number 1 using quadratic formula. Let me use quadratic formula on another equation. Let's do it on number 7. And number 7 is negative 4c squared plus 19c equals 21. Okay, it's not in the form that we need it to be. It's got to be equal to 0. This is equal to 21. So I need to get rid of the 21. Subtract 21 on both sides. Minus 21 minus 21. You now have 4c squared plus 19c minus 21 equals 0. So your A is negative 4, your B is 19, your C is negative 21. Using quadratic formula, negative B. So, plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC, so 19 squared minus 4 times A. A is negative 4. C is negative 21. We got some big numbers in there. All over 2 times A. All right. Need to simplify this. C equals. Negative 19 plus or minus square root of 21. Or I mean 19 squared. 19 squared is under 400. So 19. 361 minus, okay, minus all this stuff. Well, you can just go negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 21. Let's do that. $336. Minus, let's go positive, so we're back to minus. All over 2 times negative 4, all over negative 8. $361 minus 336. 61 minus 36. 25. Good. So negative 19 plus or minus the square root of 25 all over negative 8. 25 works out to be 5, so we have negative 19 plus 5. and negative 19 minus 5, and both of those are over negative 8. So negative 19 plus 5 all over negative 8, or negative 19 minus 5 all over negative 8. Be careful with the negatives. Negative 19 plus 5, negative 14. Negative 14 over negative 8, you end up with a positive 14 over 8. You could simplify this to 7/4. Whoops, that's negative 8. Negative 7/4.
You cancel out the negative.
That's a negative. It's going to be 2 negatives. That's going to be positive 7/4. On this side, negative 19 minus 5 is negative 24 all over negative 8. And that simplifies to a positive 3. All right, so your solutions: 7/4 or positive 3. All right. I can do one more example. If you already know how to do this, you can go ahead and just go through the assignments. I'll do another one. I'll do, looks like I'll do number 13. 13 works out. We've got some fractions in it also. Kind of time consuming, but we will always get answers with this. All right, 13. 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. Plus 9x. It's already in our ax squared plus bx plus c form, okay? It's already equal to 0, so we don't have to move anything around here. All we need to do is just assign our, numbers to our letters and just plug it into the quadratic formula. Remember, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. A, or the 2 over here is a, b is the 9, and c is the 4. So negative b, we have negative 9. Plus or minus the square root of square root of b squared, which is going to be 9 squared, minus 4 times a. Remember, our 2 is the a. 4 is the c. All over 2 times a. So again, our a is 2 up here. All right, that's our formula. Simplify and you can solve for x. So we have negative 9 plus or minus 9 squared is 81 minus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 4, 32. All over 2 times 2 is 4. So 81 minus 32. Oh, they're working out nice for us. 81 minus 32 is 49. So negative 9 plus or minus the square root 49. All over 4. Well, 49, the square root of 49, is 7. So then here's our solutions. Negative 9 plus or minus 7 all over 4. So we have to figure for negative 9 plus 7 and negative 9 minus 7. Negative 9 plus 7 all over 4. Negative 9 minus 7 all over 4. Negative 9 plus 7 is negative 2/4. Simplifies to a negative 1/2. On this side, negative 9 minus 7 is negative 16. Negative 16 over 4. Negative 16 over 4 simplifies to negative 4. There are your two solutions, negative 1/2 and negative 4.